Eisendrache is probably one of the most important Call of Duty zombie story maps there is out there. Eisendrache is one of the most important zombies maps in Black Ops 3, with Black Ops 7 bringing back the original crew Richtofen, Dempsey, Takeo, and Nikolai. Its story impact is more relevant than ever, so here's the breakdown. Now, the turning point of Richtofen's plans was realized into Eisendrache. Richtofen and the Ultimis crew complete one of the biggest steps in the grand scheme. After taking out Group 935's Griffin Station base on the moon, the crew captures Dempsey's original Ultimis body in the cryostasis. This sets the precedent for the crew traveling across timelines to collect their past selves, wiping out the originals so that the cycle can be controlled and contained. That was also due with the blood vials as well, which is part of Richtofen's greater plan. Now, the Element 115 and Keeper lore inside this map explains as follows. The map ended up extending on the lore of the Keepers and the Apothicons, two ancient godlike forces at the core of the zombies Black Ops 3 story arc. The massive 115 infused castle and its rocket program show how deeply humanity has been influenced by these cosmic powers between the Apothicons and the Keepers. These trends and threads end up tying directly into the multiverse conflict that Black Ops 7 seems to be circling back to because of the whole cycle dynamic and the fractures and everything going on between the Keepers and the Apothicons and how it's been influencing the humans since the beginning of time, Monty, and the Shadow Man as well. Now, the ending cutscene shows the destruction of the MPD on the moon, one of the single most important artifacts in zombies lore, going all the way back to Black Ops 1, which was originally supposed to be a World at War map. I might have that wrong though, but I know Moon was the last DLC for Black Ops 1 when the zombie storyline was really picking up, and then we pick up on Transit with the rockets actually exploding the Earth. Now, this was the machine that allowed Samantha and later Richtofen to control the undead. Destroying it marked a massive shift in the power struggle in the universe. Now, foreshadowing the infinite circle and cycle, if you will, the events of Eisendrache reinforce that the Ultimis crew is following Richtofen's orders without knowing the bigger picture. This plays into the cycle of betrayal, sacrifice, and manipulation that ultimately repeats across the games, in which Black Ops 7 may finally resolve or expand upon. Now, the connection to Black Ops 7, since the original crew is confirmed to be returning in Black Ops 7 in some form, Eisendrache matters because it's where the timeline truly began splintering in controllable ways. First time we've ever seen and tracked the fractures across the universe so that we can control them and bring them back. The themes of 115, ancient powers, and multiverse manipulation introduced in DE are still central to the zombie storyline today, as well as fans speculating Black Ops 7 may revisit the consequences of Richtofen's choice in Eisendrache, possibly tying back to the Keepers and Apothicons, or showing us what really happened after the destruction of the MPD. What if I told you that Eisendrache, a zombies map in Black Ops 3, might be one of the most important pieces of the storyline leading us into Black Ops 7 after hearing all that? Today, we're going to be discovering that and discussing it, and why this castle map in Germany is the most important point in zombies history and still matters 10 years later. Now, to understand Eisendrache's importance, we also need to remember where the story was at the time. Zombies had already introduced us to the multiverse, the fractures, the splintering, and the old version versus the new version. With different versions of Richtofen, Dempsey, Takeo, and Nikolai scattered across the timelines, it isn't hard to see how this could be just a jumbled web of spiders, if you know what I'm saying. The events of Origins in Black Ops 2 had set up the idea that this crew, the Ultimis crew, was going to be the key into reshaping the universe and the history of how we see and consume not only the zombie storyline, but how the zombie storyline is consumed and sought out and seen in the future. The spiderweb of lies, the spiderweb of manipulation, if you will. But Eisendrache was the first time in Call of Duty Zombies in Black Ops 3 where we saw Richtofen's plan really take form, and it wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about manipulation, timelines, and sacrifice. No longer about a power struggle like we saw in Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 when he was trying to control the Transit crew. The map changed everything. Now, the capture of Dempsey and the main quest of Eisendrache revolves around recovering the cryogenic pod holding none other than Tank Dempsey's Ultimis body. This is the first time in the Aether story where players realize Richtofen was systemically hunting down and killing alternate versions of the crew. In the final cutscene, though, Dempsey delivers a chilling monologue to his past self saying,
"If someone's gotta take him out to save the universe, then it should be me that does it." Good to see you, Tank.
That moment revealed the tragic reality of what the Primus crew was actually doing, erasing their own past selves in order to fix the future. This step in Richtofen's grand scheme set the tone for the rest of Black Ops 3 and eventually the entire Aether storyline leading into Black Ops 4. However, you have to admit that the storytelling is pretty insane because we already saw this happen before with Richtofen when he collected the blood vial of his former self with Darius, or the Giant, bonus map DLC in Black Ops 3. Now, the Moon Pyramid device in Element 115, we can get into that a little bit here, but it wasn't just about Dempsey. The Eisendrache is also the map where the Moon Pyramid device, or MPD, was finally destroyed and it was blown up by a rocket from Griffin Station. This is massive because the MPD was the machine that allowed Samantha and later Richtofen to control the zombies by blowing it up. Richtofen thought he was severing that control and taking a step closer to the ending of the cycle of corruption. At the same time, the map dives deeper into the mythology of Element 115 and the ancient forces surrounding it. The Keepers and the Apothicons, that is. We learn that these beings are just background lore, but central players in a cosmic battle for power. The theme never went away. We saw that in Revelation. Sure as hell didn't go away. It's at the heart of the zombies lore today now. Now, this could be marked the beginning of the cycle. You could say the Giant is the beginning of the cycle, but what makes the Eisendrache so important is that's where players realize this was just a survival mode with hidden Easter eggs. It wasn't just that anymore. They realized that this is a game with a story about inevitability and cycles, a constant, continuous drum of faults and manipulation and lies. The crew thought they were breaking free, but in reality, every action they took was feeding into a loop designed by Richtofen. Now, the cutscenes, the quests, and the destruction of the MPD, all of it reinforced that Primus was being used as pawns in a game far bigger than themselves. Now, the theme of cycles repeating is exactly what Black Ops 7 seems to be touching, with another original crew coming back on with the return of the original Zombies crew, and maybe even a nod to the Black Ops 4 Tag der Toten. Maybe we'll get the Transit crew back, but that's far-fetched. I really want to see what Carlton and Misty have in store for us, what they see, what they understand. So why does this matter now, though? Well, because with Black Ops 7 bringing back the original crew, Richtofen, Dempsey, Takeo, Nikolai, Treyarch is clearly revisiting these earlier story threads. The choices made in Der Eisendrache, killing the past selves, destroying the MPD, and uncovering the deeper war between Keepers and Apothicons are the foundation of what comes next in the Black Ops storyline for zombies. Fans are already speculating on Twitter and Reddit that Black Ops 7 will revisit the fallout of Richtofen's plan, and did destroying the MPD really end its power? Or did it just unleash something worse? Are the Keepers truly allies to us, or have we been manipulated since Der Eisendrache? These questions still remain unanswered. We don't have any definitive proof to say otherwise. We have no definitive proof to even prove that otherwise, and that's why this map is so important. Now, in the end, Der Eisendrache wasn't just another zombies map, it was the pinnacle and critical turning point 10 years ago, a moment that shaped the entire Aether storyline, and one that Black Ops 7 will almost certainly call back to. So when you think of zombies history, remember that this castle in Austria or Germany wasn't just a battleground, it was a place where the cycle truly began, where it was realized. And now, with the return of the crew in Black Ops 7, we might finally see where that cycle ends. Now, guys, if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section below. See you on the next one. Subscribe if you're brand new. And I'm out of here.